You need to know why you compete on a world stage. How can you best represent yourself, your values, and your personality? I try to dig deep, to work with my strengths, and to never forget who I am or the people who matter to me. You have to figure all these things out before you enter a world competition.
And the winner of the World Barista Championships, Sasa Sestic!
When Sasha won the 2015 World Barista Championship, he became hugely influential in the coffee industry. People around the world that look up to Sasha believe that his commitment to excellence and innovation is something that has never seen before. His extreme focus really makes sense when you actually see how further he's willing to go to achieve a goal he has in mind. Sasha never gives up.
Time!
Wow, Sash, he's full of energy.
He's basically hyperactive and crazy.
People grow old and some people just never grow up. Sasha is just a big kid.
Sasha's always sneaking into places he shouldn't.
Sasha, what are you doing?
Oh my God!
Sasha gets really excited about stuff, but he's also super focused and professional.
When Sasha is in that mood, none of us want to start making jokes.
When Sasha is getting ready for comp, he doesn't eat, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't do anything but coffee.
I've never met anyone like him. He's a leader, he's a front runner.
It's like a battery when you have to recharge your mobile phone. It's enough to spend some days with Sasha that I get energy for the following month.
Life is not easy.
Of course he'll jump over a swimming pool. Why not? The sky's the limit.
I couldn't believe it. My dad actually won the World Barista Championships.
After winning, I was a little bit overwhelmed with the entire experience.
Everything changed. Everything went upside down.
He was in such a high demand from the rest of the world.
After he won, I barely saw him and barely spoke with him for a year almost.
He didn't go and take all these business opportunities and, made just money. He spent the next year and a half giving back to the origin communities.
The expectation for a champion to do things for the coffee industry and be that ambassador is so high.
All right, let's do this. Hi, my name is Sasa Sestic, and I'm current World Barista Champion.
Sasha was expected to run workshops, give talks, share his knowledge, and basically travel all over the world.
Sasha has always traveled since he left the former Yugoslavia back in the 90s.
I was traveling for 12 months, 220 days. I had not spent much time with my wife and with the kids.
It happened once or twice where he would fly in the morning and then he's already flying out that same day.
We would probably know more through social media where he was.
It was hard on us because obviously he wasn't here.
Like he lives always somewhere else. He has a little holiday at Canberra.
But he always comes back home.
Yeah, sometimes.
That whole year, and maybe even 2 years after that, he was very busy.
And one of the toughest things for me was when Anna said, I wish you didn't win, because you winning, it means that you're gone.
And he told me that crying.
He wasn't in a good space.
I was starting to get sick a lot.
He would always just get a cough from being on the plane.
We'll be on the phone before he comes back from wherever he is. And I'm already calling the doctor, making an appointment for when he comes back. It needed him to realize that this is what's happening and I need to change.
The biggest change in Sash was his dress sense. So we stopped wearing tablecloth looking shirts and, you know, started going to nice menswear shops and, you know, looks good, man.
It was a bit like, what happened to old Sash?
I love what I do, but I miss my family so much.
And that's why Sasha is unique. He never loses the focus of the family.
Then I thought, well, if I can't spend time at home, why not take family and travel with me?
My chosen country is Honduras and it's in Central America.
I went to Honduras twice. If you're going to Honduras, like the roads are a lot more bumpy and scary.
We're heading to Finca Betty in La Puerta. Last time when I was here with my brother, he actually asked the driver to stop.
Yeah, rain got control.
But see the young local, just relaxing, no problems. When I first bought this coffee farm, I named it Finca Betty after my wife.
It was absolutely beautiful. It felt like this is us. So we did picking, we've planted some trees. Alex, he absolutely loves the farms. Anna, it's different.
I'm not the biggest fan. I'll learn about it and I was there and I saw it all, but I'll just stay here for now.
I think when Sasha went from being a competitor to actually becoming a coach, it was an incredible growth process for him.
I guess he sort of reinvented himself.
This is our WBC room. That's where we create champions.
Now, the water that I'm using is going to be at 93 degrees.
This lot I have for you today has been selectively picked.
So, I know you're going to love it. Please enjoy.
Before we dive in, I'll grind a few shots, and we'll start with the first fundamental to this amazing coffee.
Transition from being the best competitor to being a maybe mentor and coach for me was a little bit difficult at the beginning. I was trying to implement some of my ideas with Hugh Kelly, for example.
I worked with Sasha quite a lot before he won.
Kelly was helping me in 2015 and washing cups and rinsing cups.
He was straight away, you know, he wants to work with me to see what I can achieve.
This is 70%. This is what I was saying.
It smells good. Nice. That was all happening in a time while Kelly was preparing for Australian Barista Comp, which, you know, luckily he won.
Hugh Kelly!
Suddenly he's the main star for World Barista Championships in Dublin.
I'm just like working out ratios at the moment.
It was challenging because I was trying to understand what it takes to be a coach.
Is because we've developed a special milk with Riverina farmers. This is a slower roast. I did work hard, but maybe I felt like I had things more under control than I did.
Welcome to the 2016 World Barista Championship, ladies and gentlemen. This is the biggest World Barista Championship ever yet.
The World Barista Championships is like the Olympics of coffee, and the event in Dublin was really large. We had over 60 competitors.
All our finalists take home a WBC trophy, and the winner gets to call themselves World's Best Barista.
The Barista Champion of the US.
Go get that dark chocolate. My name is Lex.
The Barista Champion of China.
I'm using 23 in, 48 out, in about 32 seconds.
Time.
Dublin was very overwhelming for Kelly. People expected a lot from him and from me as a coach. I was nervous for us both.
The whole world is there, and there are people that you kind of don't know well, but you respect a lot, who are suddenly like watching you.
representing Australia, Hugh Kelly.
Time. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you guys today, and I would love to share with you some delicious coffees. Now, I have 6 shots on for my signature drink, 4 shots on my espresso coffee, and 2 shots on my milk-based coffee. I ran these shots 20 grams in.
Kelly nailed his heat performance. He presented very well, and his coffee was on point. The judges seemed impressed, and he's finished at exactly 15 minutes.
Time.
He scored 3rd place and easily qualified for the semi-finals the next day. But semis is where things started getting tough. Semi-finals day, we were all a bit nervous.
Sasha likes to do a dry run-through. This is a technique that he started doing with Hide when Hide was his coach.
In 2015, Hidenori Rizaki coached me, and together we won World Barista Championships. I felt I need to support Kelly to win WBC, so I don't break something that Hide started. I wish Kelly luck. It didn't start so well.
The first thing I did was put the coffee in the wrong grinder.
You know, quickly rectify to put the right coffee back in.
That kind of threw me, and there's like one little thing. Like I was already kind of fragile mentally, maybe not being completely organised.
It's my pleasure to introduce Hugh Kelly, the Barista Champion of Australia.
My name is Hugh. I'm a trainer. I would love to share with you some delicious coffee. I made a pretty big mistake. I think I ran 35-second shots instead of 25-second shots, which is kind of inexcusable.
This mistake would completely change coffee flavour for the judges.
I hadn't really experienced trying to compete to that level before and finding out that I wasn't ready.
I could see that Kelly is really worried.
He managed to do the performance, but the coffee taste was completely off.
Today has been a real pleasure. Thank you so much, guys. Time.
Talking to Kelly in the backstage completely freaked us out. I knew that he was not in total control of his presentation.
We all felt like something sunk inside of us, but we were really trying to ignore it at that time, and we were like, no, it's going to be fine, it's going to be okay.
The Barista Champion of Australia, Hugh Kelly.
Kelly went back on the stage with other competitors.
I think we're in position. The first finalist to be announced from France, Charlotte Malava! From the Netherlands,
The names of the 6 finalists were called, one after the other.
And finally, from Taiwan,
No mention of Hugh Kelly. He missed out, totally bombed.
Sasha was brutally honest. You deserved everything you got. You need to go back and look at whatever's happened and look at yourself.
Even though if Kelly didn't make the finals, he actually came number 8 in the world that year.
I think that entire experience, us as a team, I don't think we knew what we were doing.
It was a very tough moment. Sash disappeared for a whole day and a half.
Sash was completely depressed, completely destroyed. Because of course, for Sash and Kelly, that result wasn't expected.
Did I fail? Was that my bad coaching, or maybe not strong leadership, or what's happened? I definitely knew that I needed to grow as a coach a lot more, and I needed to be different. trying to find the answer why did this happen, so at least we know what do we do for next year and how we can be better. Not long after Dublin, I met Ibrahim from UAE. I travel to Dubai a lot, and every time when I go to Dubai, I think of him, and I want to go to his shop. I want to drink coffee in his cafe, and I want to be served by him.
Please enjoy.
Ibrahim competed in UAE Nationals in Dubai and won. But he had never competed outside of his own country. Now he wanted me and Sam to coach him for Brewers Cup in Brazil.
The World Brewers Cup Championship is very different than the World Barista Championship. The Brewers Cup Championship is focused on filter coffee that's hand brewed.
Enjoy.
And the Barista Championship is espresso based.
So what's the plan?
At 5 o'clock they're doing practice.
Who?
So Ibrahim and...
Where?
Backstage, just here.
Here?
Yeah, it's all happening.
I wanted to catch up with Ibrahim and see where he's at with the routine and with the coffee, and to make sure that, you know, things are tasting the way they should.
It was amazing. We started practicing with Sasha.
I will never forget my grandmother's actions. Trigger my curiosity.
He looked very happy. He had quite a few helpers.
This curiosity took me to one of the...
Now when I look back, I think maybe he looked too relaxed.
And we've been practicing so many things, and for me it was something new.
These World Coffee events always kick off with a meeting of housekeeping. And this event seemed to have more rules than usual.
I'm going to be distributing 2 orange vests to each competitor. These are for your coach and for your helper. If anyone is caught backstage without a vest, they will be asked to leave.
Usually in the backstage, it's pretty chaotic. So organizers decided to give fluoros to coaches.
That's just so we can quickly visually identify who is allowed to be backstage and who isn't.
I kind of did not want to wear them. They look ridiculous.
Sasha was always backstage, and Sasha never wore his vest.
Don't bring a vest, I'm taking out. Yeah, this is how I'm controlling it this year. I'm not fucking around anymore. You don't have a vest, you're gone.
Kicking Sasha out of the backstage is actually a secret pleasure of mine.
Who wouldn't want to tell Sasha off, to be honest? It just gives you a little bit of joy.
My stomach, it's itching, but this is fine. As Sasa did, give your 100%. With me, I'll give 110%. And inshallah, I will win.
Ibrahim has a beautiful personality, and every time when he presents, he has a warm heart, and he's a very likable guy. My initial impression that he's in control, but every time when I ask him something about the coffees or recipes or grind, he would be asking his helpers.
So this is 116, and this is 19.
Are you sure that this previous coffee was this?
Yes.
So at that moment, I was a little bit worried.
I'm sure.
I was so nervous. Before I went to the stage, I was praying just to calm myself, like, Alhamdulillah, Bismillah, relax.
I thought he just needs to be himself and he'll be fine. You know, coffee is already good. Hopefully we can see him in the finals.
You ready?
I went to the stage and I plugged in everything.
I was so excited to watch him in Brazil.
Good day, judges. Thank you so much for being here today. Coffee has been always part of our culture in the Middle East.
So he started presenting with his beautiful smile, and I said, yep, that's him. You know, he's looking good. And then he was just looking towards the kettle.
The moment I looked at the kettle, it wasn't heated. Then I said, oh my God. This is like the time stopped.
I thought, well, there's something wrong because by this stage he should be brewing coffees, but he's not. He's talking to judges and he's looking at a kettle.
This is what I call technical time.
So unfortunate seeing a man on stage and then 5 minutes in, the panics go down towards the kettle.
Ibrahim made a silly and a small mistake that, costed him a lot and costed all of us a lot. The power point of his kettle was plugged into a wrong adapter, and his kettle was warming up a lot slower than what it's supposed to be.
Yes, it is my mistake. I did not check the electricity.
We were hoping that judges would consider that it was an honest mistake, and we were hoping that they will allow him to present again.
If it's found that the problem is with the competitors' provided equipment, then that technical timeout is considered invalid.
They allowed me to continue, but they said, we cannot let you re-perform.
Because coffee was on the open, it started oxidizing. Coffee did not taste as good as it's supposed to be.
Thank you.
After that, I was very sad.
He was a different person. He was not himself. He was not that happy, comfortable Ibrahim.
It was so heartbreaking for me. I can only imagine how heartbreaking it was for him.
We knew that he's already out, even before the announcements. So it was a very sad moment. We went home without a trophy. After Brazil, we started planning for WBC in Amsterdam in 2018. This time, we have decided to support an experienced barista who's already competed internationally.
Yes, someone that is respectful and committed to coffee, but someone that hasn't had the same opportunities.
And they will be from the country who never placed in semifinals or finals.
Someone who had the potential to make an impact on the world stage.
Ideally, a humble person. And then Janina said, I've got someone that's perfect.
And that's when I told Sash about Aga from Poland. No woman had ever won before, but I knew Aga had real potential.
It's actually amazing how many times we spent together in many different coffee events, but we've never met.
I was stumped to realize that she was actually there as a competitor.
My great friend comes back from the Colombia, brought the coffee with her.
She actually competed against me in World Barista Championships in 2015 in Seattle.
Agnieszka contacted us for the first time in 2017. That year, she was turning 30 years old. And she told me something I wouldn't forget.
This is gonna be my last year of competing like any competitions. And this is a bad thing that I figured out. It's because this is my last year, I'm gonna do all of them. I'm gonna do every single one of the competitions that I can, I will do.
So I could see this girl, I'm like, wow, what is she made of?
For me, competition needs a lot of preparation and a lot of attention. I work on my mind and on my body and on my personality.
Mistrzynią Polski Barista została Agnieszka Rojewska.
Right after Aga won the Polish Barista Championship, it was absolutely needed that I call her ASAP, try to know how she was gonna start to approach Amsterdam competition, because I knew that it was the perfect fit for our team.
So we said, yeah, let's discuss this a little bit further. Let's potentially find a little bit more about Aga.
So we asked Aga if she would be willing to work with us on her preparation to Amsterdam, and especially be coached by Sash.
There's like few conditions, and one of them is that I will need to travel to Australia, and I was like, I told it to my parents and they were like, but who is Sasha?
Propozycja z Australii, że Sasha będzie coachem Agnieszki. Po prostu niedowierzanie, bo to było coś tak niesamowitego. Mówię, jak?
I was scared for like 24 hours that they're gonna call me again, saying that the deal is off.
And finally she realized that, yeah, we genuinely, truly do want to help her.
So I flew to Australia basically to work with Sasha on a routine. I arrived to the headquarters. I was pretty stressed. Of course, I knew who is Sasa Sestic, but only like from internet. I was about an hour in the headquarters and then Sasha arrived.
Sash being Sasha, a lot of coffee people when they first met him, it's really intimidating.
For me, it was important to understand Aga, to understand actually why she does coffee, why she competes, her coffee journey.
I told him that basically what I am and what I love to do is to serve coffee to people. And when I travel, and especially in my country, I see a big problem in the customer service. Like putting being a geek or nerd in coffee industry ahead of being ahead of hospitality.
So then she finished telling me her story and I said, well, that's it. She goes, what do you mean that's it? I said, well, that's what you're going to present in a comp.
We thought that a good idea might be a role play. So I will play 3 visits in a coffee shop.
Okay, well, how do we do this? We just have 2 tables. We can't have 3 tables for serving. So Aga came up with the idea to actually build her own bench.
So I need this kind of empty space so I can put their glasses, milk jug, ingredients and all that stuff. At some point he was pretty scared of the idea.
And she was like, oh yeah, you know, my dad can do woodwork and bits and pieces and he can make this table.
So?
And it was like, I'm just trying to imagine in my head, like how do you build a table on top of a table and get that out to the stage? And
I didn't know how it all come together.
This is how my mind works. Like if you don't have a space, just create it.
Aga left back to Poland. There was still so much for her to work on.
I told my dad, because he was always doing the stuff, the table stuff for me, that this time it's gonna be more tricky, and that's why he has 6 weeks. Normally he had like 10 days.
Zawsze w jakimś przedsięwzięciu masz cel, ale masz też alternatywę.
And I told him that it had to be like a puzzle.
Jeśli się spytałem, co teraz, jeśli ten stół coś by nawalił, to powiedział, że jesteś w czarnej tej dziurze.
But biggest decisions we needed to make also is what coffee to use. We had coffees for several countries with the preference of Ethiopian. We were all hoping that she will choose Ethiopian. Betty, which suitcase am I taking? Here we go again, huh? One more. And then I had this crazy idea. Why not take Aga to Ethiopia so she can find the coffee for her competition?
We're about to head to the airport. We're going to Ethiopia. So I'm super excited to visit the farm that the coffee comes from.
I always take 2 toothbrushes. I tend to lose both of them, so I have 2. Well, fuck, do I have 2? Ah, yes, it's here. I have bought so many chargers in the last 12 months, it's ridiculous. Okay, shoes. I think we're all good. Okay. Ah, chargers. Did I put chargers? Somewhere? Ah, it's here. Good. An adapter. Yes, we need that. Ah, I found my wallet. I had it missing for 2 days.
Do you have your passport?
Huh?
Your passport.
I don't know. I think I had it here somewhere. Can you check? It's so great to come back here in Ethiopia, especially with Hide, my mentor. And also we're going with Ibrahim, my really good friend from Dubai. John Gordon is an old friend. He supported me in my 2015 campaign in Seattle. When he asked me to coach him for his own campaign in Amsterdam, I was so happy that I can actually return the favor. We're going to be traveling with John and Agnieszka, and both of them are going to be looking for coffees that they potentially will use in competition. All of us with the same common goal, trying to make coffee better.
I was a bit scared of going to like African country. You don't know the rules, so I was a little bit scared that I might be lost or something might happen.
It's not an easy road, like from Addis Ababa to all of this origin, it's not an easy. Like you're talking about 10-hour drives every day.
You have like animals everywhere. People, I think they know the rules of the traffic, but they don't use it. So like there was a lot of bumpy roads, a lot of like goats, cows on the road, people on the road, bikes, people on the trucks. And we've seen some big accidents. There's like a lot of stuff going on. But the landscape in Ethiopia is like breathtaking. It's something you cannot see anywhere else.
So we arrived to Messina village. Even better red ones. I really wanted to show Aga and John this magical place. For me, it's a favorite coffee station in Ethiopia.
It's unique, it's a big size.
They are very different. I've been enjoying working with Masaret over so many years. The more we work together, more great results we achieve. We wanted to have a look at some coffee trees nearby. Oh my God, look at them! So excited. Cherries are where coffee beans come from. And coffee beans are actually seed inside of the cherry. That watermelon is pretty intense. Bit of lachi. Yeah, I can see one of these coffees doing very well in barista competitions.
There was people actually picking the coffees. And they were doing a pretty good job.
Unbelievable, right? Every single cherry was perfect red. Yeah. Well, we're building a bridge. Yeah, just like that, why not?
It's a big river, and so many coffees comes from in the water by horse and sometimes by people carrying by their head.
People get injured and they lose whatever they carry. But in the same time, if they're bringing big bags of coffee, for them it's impossible to cross the river, so they had to walk 2 to 3 hours, some of them, in order to deliver coffee. So by the time they get there, 10 o'clock night time, they sort of need to walk another 2 to 3 hours. They go home by midnight. Had the idea that we should build a bridge to connect these two communities, to help these people to bring the coffees earlier. So I do hope, we'll be finished before next harvest. So I'm generally trying to support these people so they don't actually need to do this. On rainier days and stuff, this water gets really fast. There are many ways to process coffee, and here in Messina, they're washing it as a part of the process. Can you follow me or not? I always love watching people actually washing these coffees. They're very enthusiastic, they're very happy. It was really exciting to see, Hire and also Ibrahim washing the coffee and, singing with them.
Water channel, that's really narrow. It's kind of a sleepy flow at the same time. So poor Ibrahim. He worked so hard. Step off the water channel.
Then suddenly he slipped. Bam. Are you okay? And he was just saying, no, I'm fine, I'm fine. Well, he's inspired by a wash process coffee, so he wants to wash himself. Double wash.
We went to the place where they actually dried the coffees, and they were selecting coffees.
There were so many ladies with beautiful, colorful clothing.
And they started to sing. So we basically turned the station for like 20 minutes, a big party. Almost the whole village come to the station, see what's going on. Of course, Sasha was dancing and singing. Hey, I think Ibrahim was dancing.
He loved every moment. It was pure joy.
John was like just moving a little bit. Peter was dancing. I think I'm the only one that is not into dancing. I'm this kind of shy person that just doesn't do it in public.
So now we are in Addis Ababa. We're gonna fly to Jimma, and then we're gonna go to Bonga and some other wild forest coffees. I remember last time I was there, we came very late. I was a little bit disappointed. Actually, I was very disappointed. Not red.
Oh, yeah.
It's impossible for us to find the cherry now.
Yes, it's impossible. It's impossible.
Kide, are you ready to go?
Ready to go!
Ready to go! Finally, today's the day. We're gonna see some wild coffee trees and cherries, hopefully. So while we were driving there, I was worried, are we gonna see cherries this time?
There wasn't no hard roads. Like we were basically driving on very bumpy roads, like up and down the hill all the time.
We did come to the forest. Our cars were not allowed to go any more further after this wooden bridge.
All right, we're good to go.
So that's how he finds those coffees that he finds, is that he always follows the beat of his own drum. Why not? I'll follow him into a forest any day.
I'm scared of the prize.
Well, I think we're on 1,700 meters.
It's getting pretty hot.
So as we go higher, we really hope we'll see a lot more cherries on the trees.
At some point, we were just walking the road. Like now we're going to the right, and there was like nothing. Wasn't even a road to walk. He was a mix of a Sherlock Holmes and a little bit of a Batman, who was actually jumping on the trees.
Oh my God, this is paradise!
Wow, look at this. I've never seen this before on a coffee tree. It's remote, it's untouched virgin forest.
You were walking, and then you realized that this is actually coffee all around you.
Fertile land, rich volcanic soil. So if anyone drops a coffee bean, it grows.
Pretty exciting to see coffee in its own environment.
There's no cherries, but
Sasha was quite inspiring to actually watch, even if you have no idea what's going on in his head. Just stay out of his way.
We go deeper and deeper into the forest, and at some point we were a little bit like separated as a group. And I have like very bad orientation. So I was a bit worried that at some point, if I would be alone, I might not be coming back.
we lost a guide and we have no idea where they are. We are in the middle of the jungle. When I went to this forest, everything, to me, it seemed like that everything stopped. It's not a coffee environment that we used to now, so it's like going back in a time. They didn't look like coffee trees at all. But then when we look up, we could see some leaves that look like coffee leaves.
Oh, there's some cherries.
Ibrahim, this is a coffee tree, look at it.
We saw like some cherry in the tree, but it was really far. And we decided to climb.
Yeah, man, if you break it, I'll break you. Trying to get some cherries all the way on the top.
Sasha?
This is going to be planted. Man, we need more. There's so many more.
Ah. No, no, no. I will lift him. Come. I will lift you.
Come here.
You lift me?
Yes.
Those two big guys to lift me up to pick the coffee cherry.
Okay, no, we need more, man. We need more. We need everything. They're all the way there.
All the way, no.
There's so many there. Oh, fuck, there's stripies. Look at them. Unbelievable. All right, we gotta hurry up, huh? But we cannot go. Why would we go?
Our guides showed us the very old tree, and they called the tree the mother of coffee. And we are the first to be here because they are so super slow.
We came up to this famous tree that looked so much bigger than any other tree that I've seen in this forest. And he said, well, this is the original tree. The coffees that we taste all over the world is because of this one tree. Obviously, it is a legend. So how old is this one?
The legend says it's like 600 years old.
How can they tell? Like, is that...
The story passed from generation to generation.
Cool.
I was pretty excited to actually stand in a place when the coffee was born.
I thought, you know what? How good would it be if I can actually pick few cherries from this tree that's 600 years? Well, I'd love to try to get some seeds from mother of coffee tree.
Yeah. John, come next to me. We need two people on our shoulder.
Typical man's idea, so let's just make it work. So we found 3 branches that still has some cherries on. Bekane was using a stick to take those cherries out, and we were trying to catch them.
We could plant few of the seeds from this exact tree. Hopefully, a few of them will germinate and we can have them as a piece of the history. Maybe we have something very special. Most important bag on this trip. Yeah. We traveled back to Addis Ababa and we've tasted some Messeret's coffees from Messina.
For me, Ethiopian coffee is best in the world. It's naturally gifted coffee.
I was really hoping that Aga and John would said yes to Messeret's coffees and to take them to the World Barista Championships.
For me, I felt like that coffee was that special. In a competition platform, it would speak for itself.
This was like a level higher than usual Ethiopian coffee, so I was super excited if Sash would let me to use it in WBC.
Ethiopian coffee never won in World Barista Championships. I was thinking, could this be it?
I feel so happy and proud. It's like a dream for me. and now they need to get the coffee ready in our warehouse.
All of us left Ethiopia, the holiday was over. Man, we had a lot of work to do. Sure, cherry. John and Aga were sending me the video updates of their routines.
Processed in this way.
We have chosen Ethiopian coffees because for us,
I was super keen to get to Amsterdam to work closely with them before competition started. We arrived to Amsterdam about 5 days before competition. Really looking forward going and do very first practice session with Aga. Early start, 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning possibly.
Sasha was super tired. He was like barely get out of the door from hotel, get the front seat.
After a few minutes, it was kind of silence. Suddenly, Sasa is sleeping. It was funny.
And the place was in a small village, half an hour drive out of Amsterdam.
We arrived to this place that looked like just unbelievable castle.
And Sash was pretty surprised that we were dragging him in there.
It's part of our memories from Amsterdam, this castle.
We needed to go through like several gates. And they gave us just one key. And they told us that it would open on all the doors on the way. And we were just like, oh, seriously, like one? The training space was in a type of bunker. It was a pretty weird area.
Within a few minutes, Aga's team has set up everything.
He asked me to do the whole routine, and I was more stressed in front of Sash than I was in front of judges. And I would love to drink that signature beverage together with you, so we can connect all those information with what you will experience. I felt it's like impossible to impress him, and he was doing stuff like, so this time you have to finish at
40 minutes, 40 seconds, but some other times I would ask her to complete presentation at 40 minutes and 20 seconds, just to make sure she's ready.
Like he was changing like his opinion all the time. I think that Sasha changed the script like 300 times, but it was like going back and forward. And to make those characteristics more intense, I let it cool down.
All I was doing is asking her to provide more clarity about certain things.
So please put the brown one and put it in the between low and medium. He was having comments like,
look at the judges, smile, and say thank you.
I would like to leave you with the last drops of it, so you can simply enjoy it, and hope to see you soon.
I always made sure that presentation is her presentation.
To use my own words, but in a Sash style.
I was feeling very pleased. But on the other hand, I was very worried because she spent about 9 minutes setting up an impressive table. If she's taking so much time, things can get a lot worse in a real environment.
When I saw this table, the first idea, oh my gosh, it's risky. But the second idea, okay, don't worry, it's Aga. If somebody can do that, it's only Aga.
I still was not convinced, and she was convinced. She was really feeling really strong about it.
You know, Sash was pretty under control with Aga. There's a different story with Team John Gordon.
I heard that they were having a hard time just before the comp. It was pretty stressful for Sash and Sam.
Started practicing with John and he didn't have a complete performance.
2 days before first round, I was still doing 17-minute routines.
The collected cherries sit in bags for way too long. However, there are modern resources, there are modern techniques to avoid all of these issues.
His brain was forgetful.
I can't remember any of it at all.
Coffees are tasting great, which was fantastic.
He's unbelievable barista, has unbelievable palate, huge knowledge. But what we were really worried about is, can he memorize his own presentation? Sam and myself thought, well, we need to change this up. We need to do something to lift up everyone.
Yeah, I'm doing it, depending how much you hurt yourself.
Sasha and myself would do a challenge.
We're doing races under the bench, on top of the bench, and running around and hurting ourselves, and sort of funny games that we can just cheer everyone up.
Crazy, this is crazy. I believe that it's in almost every guy mind, this type of being competitive, and that's why there is more men competing in the coffee industry than women's.
The back room in the World Barista Championships is a very tense environment. So you have people testing their equipment, you have people pacing and going over their lines, you see competitors checking each other out, very focused on their equipment. We had 57 competitors, so we had to spread out competition into 2 full days for preliminaries.
We were having pretty good schedule because I was competing on the second day and John on the first day. There was like few competitors that I wanted to see.
Ingredients coming together to make something new, something harmonious.
I wanted to watch the British guy. Also wanted to watch Lex Beneker.
We're gonna start with the espressos, followed by the milk drinks, and we're gonna finish with my signature drink.
Lex is just an experienced competitor. And he was having like a nice setup. He was pretty relaxed on stage. It was his hometown. Those are the people that I thought is gonna be like the favorites to win.
I was very nervous. Very nervous for John. Very nervous for Aga. There was a lot of pressure for her to prove herself, and a lot of things that could go wrong with the table setup.
I was happy that I don't compete on the first day.
I was not comfortable going in the heats and actually being part of the day.
Heats was stressful.
I was super interested in John's performance. I already knew that he was in a few WBC finals. Like for me, John was one of the favorites to win.
And time. Welcome. We all start our careers in different areas, and some of us progress through stages until we find our calling.
I felt like the setup, preparation, everything was good.
The Ethiopian coffees are what inspired me to pursue a career in the industry.
But the first round was really, really rough. The sun was coming through right on stage. I was already sweating, feeling uncomfortable.
It felt like he's not talking a lot and like he's super stressed.
Sorry, one of the main issues that I noticed was the lack of accessibility to power sources.
I'm trying to do my presentation and I have gaps within the presentation to do some grinding, and my grinder was just all over the place. It was making an unusual noise, which is a bit of an issue. And I thought, get it over and done with it at that point.
On your second sip, a new flavour of raspberries, and then on your third and final sip, you're going to get a new experience of nashi. Please lift the lids, guys. Enjoy. Thank you very much.
I asked Sash how did John did, and Sash was like,
he did fight through really hard, and he managed to, finish on time somehow. I don't know how.
But maybe not 100% of what he wanted to say.
And my competition time was the next day. I have this weird tradition. I do post a photo and say it's a nice day for Judgment Day on every single competition day. We set up everything for training. We did check the coffees, and Sash was like, okay, this is the 15 minutes. Just remember to do the setup in less than 8 to check the coffees. So I roll on stage.
She's got like a massive wooden-made box to the judging table. That was massive.
I
I remember how people react. Oh my gosh.
What the hell is she doing?
She's spreading some table. It's crazy.
It's gonna get to 15 minutes, she's not even gonna have, you know, one coffee pulled or a table that's built.
The trolley went off the stage, judges on stage.
And I remember watching it, just sitting there with a group and just nervous.
So you call your time. Time. Coffee industry is evolving fast. What was new yesterday is basically a standard today, which is good and very exciting thing because it let us chase this perfect cup of coffee. I consider my presentation for WBC a little bit risky. According to the trends you get of doing a lot of like detailed presentation about coffees, detailed like science presentation, a lot of like research and development, and my presentation was absolutely different. And for me, it's right back where we all started, in a coffee shop, when you were simply enjoying a cup of coffee. And I was just doing, hey, I have some amazing coffee, just drink it and enjoy it. And so this was pretty risky for me. I can see you're already enjoying our milk mavesh, and I promise that with your next visit, I'll give you more detailed information about this beautiful Ethiopian coffee it's based on.
To deliver what she wanted, she needed to have a completely unique style of service.
So, it is my pleasure to invite you for one more visit in the coffee shop, but please move to the other table, okay? Thank you.
Coś jej tam przygotowałem. Na każdy miała fajny stół. Te stoły dały się poznać, bo to przecież nie było tak, to było widać.
Even though Aga had a really good routine and good presentation, her espresso shots were not running the way they needed to run.
So I would like to make for you my favorite cup of coffee, which will be espresso. The espresso extractions were like 7 or 9 second difference, which wasn't supposed to happen. I want you to get absolutely best value out of that cup.
If one coffee is extracting slower than the other one, judges will not taste the flavors that we were hoping
for. The extraction. Just evaluate the crema. And this small glass in here, this kind of difference may cost you like a lot of points. They might cost you semi-final.
We were thinking that it's disaster.
All the stuff is going through our heads.
And feel free to enjoy it. I called time 15:00, which was like on spot. Time.
By the end of it, I think the entire crowd was just mouth open. Like, what the hell was that? Fingers crossed the coffees tasted good.
I wasn't like believing in this great success. I didn't say it the way I wanted. And I was getting like this very positive comments like, whoa, what you did was like super crazy and amazing. And, like the energy was like, yeah, it's just like a routine. But first round has this live scoring. So you might be getting all those comments and then you see yourself on the board as like 20 something. And then I just saw a message from somebody and they sent me a screen of the leaderboards and I was in the third place. I was just like running from one end to backstage.
And she just screams.
Sash was like...
For the moment I was really happy, but in the same time I was really angry because there were so many other competitors that are there in that same room and they didn't win. And they didn't make it, and for them, that's end of their dream.
He was like, the result is pretty good, but there were some mistakes. What were your mistakes, and how to make them better? I was like, basically the espresso extraction was a crap. He was like, yes, so most probably you're gonna be in a semi-final.
So I've told Aga she needed to have her table set up under 7 minutes.
And that's impossible.
I was very serious about it, so she needed to spend the entire day practicing setting up the table.
Okay, Mr. Sash, I'm gonna go to do the training, and I'm gonna do it in less than 7.
Then after that, we actually we've seen that also John qualified on the first day as well.
Knowing that Aga and myself were using the same coffees and hearing her name being called out for semi-finals gave me that confidence that we were on the right track.
For Sash, I think this was also a surprise. I was 2 places higher than John, I think.
It was very good news for us, but we knew that we have to be focused on the next day.
This is a semi-finals day. haven't slept much. Going in there in about 20 minutes, doing a tasting session with John. We had a bit of a struggle 2 days ago in the presentation, so I really hope that after the tasting session I can give my absolute best to help me feel comfortable. Yeah, it's gonna be a big day.
Semi-final was, I was competing as one of the last ones, and John was first. So Sash had enough time to spend with him and then with me.
The earlier rounds are probably the most scary. It's such small detail which could be the make or break of whether you are in the finals or not.
Representing New Zealand, John Gordon!
The semi-finals day for me was a lot more comfortable.
So, welcome. We all start our coffee careers in different areas, and some of us progress through different stages until we find our calling.
I was remembering my speech. The coffees are still on point, which was fantastic.
Now please assess the crema. Hold off on tasting just yet. We're going to wait for it to cool just a little bit.
I've always, I guess, struggled to maybe show a little bit of emotion. I felt like I was starting to engage a little bit more.
And then the second sip is all about flavour. Here you'll find that green kiwi fruit.
I saw part of his presentation and I felt already it was better than the day before.
Judges, please lift the lids and enjoy. Thank you very much. Time.
I knew that Sash is more satisfied with his performance. So I was like, I hope he's going to be a bit more satisfied with mine also. We already solved more or less the problem with the extractions and we are ready to roll.
During the preparation time, we all kept watching Aga really close to see how she's going to go with the table setup.
And I was already doing a better job.
But a couple minutes later, she was looking in a trolley and we can see that something is missing.
And this is the moment when I take the tray with signature beverage ingredients. There are supposed to be 3 of them, and the middle one is missing.
And this is when we freaked out.
Where is the last one of waters? It was scary.
I cannot not have it. I have to go for it, basically run for it.
I was running with Aga.
Camila was like ahead of me into the fridge.
We had only a few seconds to find this bottle.
She came back and she was ready to set and go. So that could cost her a lot.
This a bit freaked me out. I think I spent half of a minute trying to calm my breath.
Representing Poland, Agnieszka Rojewska.
Okay. Time. Coffee industry is evolving fast. What was new yesterday is basically... Like during the presentation, Sash felt that the energy wasn't as good as on the first round at the beginning. I would like to take you back to this first visit in a coffee shop. But the coffees were better, the extraction were more even. And the coffee is processed. It travels all the way from Ethiopia to our roastery.
I don't know if you could see it from the live stream, but there is a pretty big crowd that is gathered around. Everyone has their phones out. I think this is a competitor that a lot of people are excited to watch.
We have one more visit to take today, so please join me on the other table, okay? I don't want you to just taste it. I want you to get the absolute best value out of the cup. So, and there was like a Polish team on the audience, was like growing. It is my greatest pleasure to bring world stage coffee. I didn't get the last lines the way I wanted, so it was good, but it wasn't the way I wanted. And let even first-time coffee drinker feel it like we do in a World Barista Championship stage. And also finished 15:00 on time. And thank you for the visit. Time. And the thing is that there were not only Polish people in there anymore. There was like a lot of people actually cheering for me, which was very surprising because I thought that there's no way I'm gonna be one of the favorites. I talked to Sasha, she was asking what happened with the missing ingredients and why it happened. We said we don't know. This is a mystery.
No i dla mnie rzecz najważniejsza, stół ciągle stoi.
And then the announcement comes, and they of course give you the first one.
The first finalist for tomorrow, representing Greece, is Michalis Katsiavos.
Okay, they didn't say your name as the first one, which is good because you don't have to compete as first. But then they say the second one.
Representing Canada, Cole Torode.
And this was first surprise for me because Cole was competing for the first time. I was like, okay, it's getting interesting.
There was a bit of a tense moment of like 2 or 3 competitors being announced, and then
John Gordon representing New Zealand.
So it was like ticked. John is there. There's less and less spots. So I was like, yeah, it's already done. It's done.
Switzerland, Mathieu Tate.
So it was fun. It was like nice to meet you. I'm gonna have a free day tomorrow. I can finally have my beer.
5th finalist for tomorrow. Representing Poland, Agnieszka Rojewska.
I was surprised, super happy, and I was like, I'm not having a beer. Not yet.
When Aga's name got called out, I was probably more excited for her than I was for myself.
We were so excited. We were shouting, we were singing, we were jumping.
The 6th and final finalist for tomorrow.
It was Lex, so like the Netherlands.
My fellow Dutchie, Lex.
And after the announcement, Sash came. He was super happy. He was like smiling from ear to ear. And he just said like, you're a legend. And then I was like, oh, John is also a legend. So he was happy for both of us.
It's a handful to work with one person in the final, to have 2.
holy shit, there's 2 competitors in the final.
That was exciting, crazy exciting.
The look on Sasha's face was now it's time to step it up, get serious.
When I'm competing and I'm in this competition mode, I can be very like tough and rough. This is the time that I try to like make it up for the girls, so I ask them what they want for dinner.
From McDonald's and it's McFlurries.
So we went for McDonald's. What do you want? We didn't even have like sandwiches, we just get like ice creams.
Josh.
Then Sash called if I can come to him, and I was like, it's gonna be a rough talk, because I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, the only place where we can actually go was a park.
Then we ended up sitting on a bench, and now we cannot be happy anymore, like we have to focus, and I was ready that it's gonna be a rough talk.
I think Aga expected me to do this big talk that you need to win, etc., but you know, in my opinion, she's already, showed the world who she is.
And he just told me that not to forget what is important, like the customer service, the energy, the positive attitude, and don't forget who I am. Just do exactly the same, with no pressure and tension, and it just will work out.
And she just needed to go there and enjoy it and make herself proud, her family proud, and her country proud.
We were tired, sure, but we were ready for more.
Good morning.
Sash got a bit more bonded with the girls.
I wanted to bring this relaxed atmosphere. So when she presents that, it's just Aga. We spent some time with John.
As you can see in stage 4, the cherries are placed inside sealed tanks.
We wanted to make sure that he can memorize his presentations. You're always thinking, like even when they compete in the first round or second round, what can they do better following day? But when finals come, there's no tomorrow, no more presentations.
The barista representing New Zealand, John Gordon!
All right, you guys ready? And time. Welcome. We all start our coffee careers in different areas, and some of us...
The finals round for me was actually a little bit of a tough one.
I went from barista to roaster to technician.
Aside from everything feeling like it was going smoothly, there was a point during the intro where there was one judge kind of pulling back, and to be honest, that threw me off a little bit. But at the same time, it also made me want to try harder.
Now this drink is served cold over a stainless steel ice cube.
And I remember getting kind of closer and closer to the end and just getting a little bit more excited each time that it was like, oh my God, this is almost over.
Now our industry is not just about quality coffee, our industry is also about people. Judges, lift your lids and enjoy. Thank you very much. Time.
Let's give it up for the barista, John Gordon!
As soon as John finished presentation, I had to run and spend some time with Aga as well. But Aga was really funny because Aga did not really want to do presentation with me. He goes, oh no, I'm too afraid of you. I don't want to do it, I'll do it with my team. That's when I thought, well, you know what, my job is done. She can go out there and be the best she can be.
Setting up the first part of the table was the most stressful for me. And when it was up, I was like, okay, like nothing bad can happen now. Nothing. And I just like look around and see that the audience is packed.
It felt like all of Poland had come out to watch Aga perform. The stands were completely full. They had flags that they were waving, and it was loud.
People singing and celebrating.
They called judges on stage. I knew it might not be good, but I couldn't resist. I always ask the judges if they're ready. When I turn to the Polish team and ask, are they ready? You ready? Okay, so I called time. Time. Coffee industry is evolving fast. What was new yesterday is basically a standard today.
I was very proud of her because it wasn't only presentation, it was kind of her passion.
In my signature beverage, I will use passion fruit infusion.
The signature drink for me is one of my favorites of her courses.
So to 100 grams of warm milk, I have added 7 grams of citric acid in the form of lime juice. That caused the separation of proteins and the rest of the liquid.
She had a very unique milk that had these almost like yogurty style qualities, but I think where it just came alive was the last day.
Thank you. Please take the first sip. It's just in front of you. Beautiful flavors of passion fruit and apricot developed right back in Messina village. Let's go for another one.
That's why that moment of her drinking and enjoying it with her, she probably wanted to drink it herself. Like it was a yummy, yummy drink.
Let me prepare for you my favorite cup of coffee, which will be espresso. But today, I don't want you just to taste it. I want you to get absolutely best value out of the cup. We wanted the judges to feel it before they drink it. And put your hand on a piece of the material and slowly move it toward the end. The texture of the material is changing, and texture in this espresso will change from velvety and finishing with silk. The aftertaste is just above medium and will have beautiful aftertaste of orange blossom. It is my greatest pleasure to bring this world stage coffee to you as my customers, but what's most important, my friends. The last lines, I finally got them exactly as I wanted. Let you experience it as a first-time coffee drinker like we do on the World Barista Championship stage. So this is your time. Enjoy your cup of coffee, and thank you for the visit. Time.
The barista representing Poland, Agnieszka Rojewska!
I was crying, but only a little bit, you know.
Występ Agnieszki się kończy. Jest wywiad z prowadzącym, takie parę słów podsumowania.
Oh, before you ask me the question, it was like the 23rd of June, it's a Father's Day in Poland.
Yeah.
So I'd like to thank my dad for this beautiful table setup. So, dzięki tato!
Tak się to zbiegło, ten finałowy występ.
There's a lot of excitement in the backstage.
I've told her that I was very proud of her.
I know that he saw some of the glitches.
But on the other hand, her energy and her connection, it was unbelievable.
Welcome to the 2018 World Barista Championships Awards Ceremony.
So they called us out on stage.
When it's dawning into the announcement period, suddenly the stomach starts to churn.
All I was thinking in my head that I hope it's, it's not John or Aga finishing number 6.
Starting with 6th place.
And I was having in my head that this is going to be a 6th place.
From New Zealand, John Gordon!
The moment that my name was called out in 6th, there was a feeling of happy to be there. I don't necessarily believe I deserved anything more than that.
And I was pretty sad because I thought he's going to be at least top 3.
I felt shattered. I was feeling so emotional and so down. Coffee was tasting great, and what happened, and
Then we're ready to announce our 5th place.
I had a fear that, maybe Aga is number 5.
But I was like, okay, just call the 5th and then I'm done here. It's still good enough.
Our 5th place
I could not look at anyone, so I just sort of looked down.
goes to Coulter Road, representing Canada!
So there is Greece, Switzerland, me, and Netherlands.
All right. 4th place.
4 is like this close from the top 3. I was like, okay.
Coming from Greece, Mikalis Kaviaros!
And then it was like, whoa. Like, you're already in the top 3, far away from the bottom and far away from the winning.
All right, let's continue with our 3rd place in this 2018 World Barista Championship. 3rd place goes to Mathieu Tess from Switzerland!
This is the moment when just me and Lex stood there, and it's like, okay.
When I was looking at Lex and Aga, I wanted Aga to win so much.
Oh my goodness. Could cut the tension with a knife here, folks.
And it was that moment of, that's when the possibility's there. Like, I think you go numb.
And through my head, there was a lot of stuff going on. Firstly, is this Seattle moment again? I felt in Seattle, wow, so close.
And this was the first moment that it goes like, this actually might happen. But very quickly it went like, you're not gonna be the first one. You're not the right person to make the history.
Things started getting really emotional. God, if I can say cold sweat. I could feel that my hair is standing up in my entire body, just electricity inside of me. They're just ready to explode.
Ale oczywiście nie mogłem usiedzieć na miejscu.
Okay, just remember to smile. They're gonna scream. They're gonna be actually happy for the guy, but it's okay. Like, you're gonna be the 2nd best in the world. It's gonna be amazing. And then he's saying,
in 2nd place,
Barista champion from
the Netherlands, Max Renneke!
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
I just put my hands over my eyes and just started crying.
Krzyczę w tym momencie do żony, bo cały czas jesteśmy przy telefonie.
Even though we're not allowed on stage, we bolt for it.
Camila jumped on me. There was like some other people jumped on me.
I think I just slobbered in her hair.
We all pretty much just burst into tears.
And I was like, it did happen.
Agnieszka Rojewska!
Our very first
female World Barista Champion!
There's not even a well, but she won by 1 point. Agnieszka won by like 50 points.
Yeah, of course she won. She was the best competitor.
Already the crowd was on stage taking photos, and I was just like so sad there. We just hugged, and I don't know if he was crying or not, but I was like already almost like in tears.
I think everyone was in tears.
Aga made a really big impact for all of us. And I think winning has opened up so many new doors and new opportunities for so many baristas all over the world. And that made me, in a way, a lot more prouder and a lot more happier than when I won in Seattle.
Biorąc pod uwagę cały ten występ Agnieszki i to, jakie wrażenie wywołał ten stół i cała oprawa występu, myślę, że drobny puchar mógłbym dostać za ten stół.
Stratosphere and I'm shaking. Save